Hi, Elle Ingalls here at pressure-free.com, elleingles.com, and welcome to Living Pressure-Free with Elle. I think this is episode 504, I believe. And today the topic is sleep, waking up with energy, with focus. Sleep is a real hot item these days. There's so many articles about sleep and its importance. And actually there's people who are stressing about sleep. If they feel like they're not getting enough sleep or not getting a quality sleep, they're actually getting really stressed out and anxious about that. And so I wanted to debunk sleep a little bit for you today, and also concentrate on whether or not you're a type A or a type P. So by type A, I mean a high achiever. High achievers tend to be using a lot of adrenaline to fuel their day. And a type P is what I call type P pressure-free. A pressure-free person is productive. They're not having to use adrenaline as a drug to drive them. So they have a totally different use of energy in their body, a much more long-lasting energy. So they can be so much more productive. So let's talk about this sleep thing, because so many of my clients get really amazing benefits from using the pressure-free method and learning that it really has this huge effect on sleep. So one of the main reasons why you may be waking up or having trouble getting to sleep to begin with, and then waking up maybe in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 a.m., is because of this little thing called cortisol. If you release adrenaline, then at a later time, a group of hormones is going to release out in your body called glucocorticoids. Glucose, sugar, and then cortisol. Cortisol is getting quite a lot of news these days. If you have released adrenaline, you need cortisol. You need glucocorticoids to fix your brain cells and your major muscle cells, because that's what got drained when you were in the adrenaline phase. You actually wicked fat and glucose out of your brain cells. And so cortisol is going to help fix all that. However, cortisol has a couple effects on your brain that are really important. Number one, it can make you feel anxious. This is really, really huge for anyone that you know that feels anxious or worried. And sometimes they'll say like, gosh, I'm on edge and I don't really know why. It could simply be because this cortisol has hit their brain and they now feel anxious. Second of all, cortisol is your wake-up drug. So if you've had an argument in the evening, or you're ruminating about something, worrying about something, you might get to sleep, but then at 2 or 3 a.m., out comes the cortisol, and now you're wide awake. So it's literally biology. I was sharing this with a colleague of mine, and she goes, Elle, what you're telling me is that it's biological. And so sometimes what I like to say to groups that I'm working with or with my private clients, I'll say, it's not your fault. You didn't know about this. You didn't know that these effects were happening because of these releases of hormones. So, but once you start to learn this, then you do know, and you are responsible for what happens to you. So if we can stop the first flood of hormones, the adrenaline release, then the glucocorticoids won't go out. Then you actually get a real night's sleep. Plus, every time you release the fight or flight stress hormones in your body, it takes hours for them to dissipate out of the cells. And it takes the cells, they have to do a lot of work when you're in fight or flight. So it really fatigues you. That's why you could be going to sleep and getting all the hours that you supposedly need, and still you're waking up tired, you're waking up fatigued. And it's because your body hasn't really rested. It's spent the whole night dealing with the fight or flight stress hormones, the adrenaline phase, and then the glucocorticoid phase. So that's a lot of work for your poor body to do. So instead of rejuvenating, regenerating, healing, your body's not doing any of that. It's just trying to clear the hormones out so you can get back to normal. Because for a male body, it takes up to 9 hours for those hormones to dissipate out of the cells. And for females, it's up to 24 hours. That's a really, really long time for your cells to be compromised. So I want to say that again. Every time you trigger fight or flight, for the smallest of reasons, it could be just because I'm annoyed about some dirty socks, or like someone's left a shirt up there. Do you see on my balcony? Like that could annoy me because visual clutter annoys me. So I could trigger fight or flight over that. And now my body's going to go into this huge cycle that lasts up to 24 hours. So instead of processing my food correctly, getting nutrients out to my skin, into my cells, to my brain, my body's doing something totally different. So when you use the pressure-free method, and you really embrace it and you master it with me, you actually change the health of every cell of your body. When you can begin to do that, when you sleep at night, your body is truly rejuvenating, truly regenerating. It is healing. It is fixing the things that went on during the day. Your food is actually working for you. You may eat a perfect diet and you may exercise and do everything that you think you're supposed to be doing. But if you're missing this one piece, then it's not happening for you. So if sleep is an issue for you, if you are tired of waking up tired, then we need to have that strategy call that I talk about. Let's just have a free strategy call so I can learn more about your symptoms, more about what's happening to you, and see if pressure-free is a good fit for you. So insomnia, I've had so many clients get amazing relief that finally they can sleep. Finally, they can wake up with energy. I remember specifically, I had a high school student. He was 16 at the time. And after he had what I call the breakthrough day, you're using the method, you're working on it, but it takes a while to have what I call the breakthrough day, where you go the whole day without triggering stress hormones at all. Well, he had his first one, and he wrote to me the next morning, and he goes, "Dear Mrs. Ingalls, this morning I woke up with the most focused energy I've ever felt in my life." So if you're looking for that focused energy where your mind is working for you, I just finished working with a client. She's actually going to do a beautiful testimonial for me, because I keep getting this from a lot of people. They'll say, my brain isn't working right. There's something wrong. One woman even said to me, I think my brain is broken. If you have people in your life who say this, like, I think this is just not working, it could simply be biological. It could simply be the release of these hormones. And, we like to think that there's not a whole lot of genetic difference between us when it comes to fight or flight. We all have this mechanism to protect us from a true threat. But how it affects us is all different. The symptoms that you may feel could be totally different than someone else. Not only that, but the things that stress you out may not stress out another person at all. So you might even think it's funny, like, why are you getting upset about that? But for that person, that's their trauma, or it hits a hot button. So we're all very unique in what our triggers are. And so that's why I've built my courses, and especially my private coaching, to really help you identify your particular triggers, the things really happening to you, and really working on healing your particular issues. So if sleep is one of them, I would love to hear from you. If you know someone who's struggling, because if you can't get a good night's sleep, you can't heal your body. And stress hormones are the number one reason why. So please connect me to them. You can click on share, and actually if you're on your phone, you can pull up a private link, and you can send it to someone without anybody else knowing that you're sharing, because stress is very private. I understand that, and I recognize that. So I thank you for being on here, and if you're willing to give me a heart and a like for anything that I do here, I super appreciate it, because I know that some people are secretly watching me. So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some more webinars. I did one this week earlier this week on money. So if money is a stressor for you, go back through my feed or just jump to lingalls.com and scroll down on my courses, and you'll see the money course, because money is causes a lot of stress for people. So I built an entire course to help you with that. And there's some real secrets in there that very few people talk about with money that could be super helpful to you. So I hope that you have a beautiful pressure-free day, that you reach out if you're having trouble with sleep, or share this with a person that you know that is having trouble. And let's get this planet healthier. Have a great day. Bye.